dawn rises, where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball. A new dawn is here.
The Super League Basketball Championship. The ultimate competition and a chance to compete for superiority against the best in the land. A round-robin league format played across 23 weeks. All 9 SLB franchises will compete against each other 4 times, home and away. The team with the best record after 32 games will be crowned Super League Basketball champions, whilst the top 8 teams will all progress to the postseason playoffs.
Good evening and welcome into the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester. It's the final week of the regular season in the Super League and it's all to play for as Manchester Basketball hosts the Surrey 89ers. You're joining us live on DAZN as Manchester look to get back to winning ways after their 5-point loss to the Flyers on Sunday. That saw them pick up back-to-back losses for the first time since February. And the 89ers also coming in off 2 losses last week to the Riders and Eagles. They're sat in 8th place and a win today will help them in their push for playoff seeding. Caroline Bullock here with BBL all-time great Jason Swain as we get ready for tip-off in a few minutes' time. So Jason, 2 teams who last played each other in January here in Manchester. The series so far has been split with each team winning at home, so we're sure to be in for an exciting game today.
Well, we are, and each team has peaked at different points of the year. Surrey getting themselves to that final seems like a while ago now, but they've shown they can play with the best. And Manchester, probably one of the really formidable teams in this last few months. So all to play for with plenty of permutations at stake, Kaz, in the league.
We started off the final week of the regular season with Newcastle and Bristol facing off against each other. On Monday, the Eagles came out on top in that one with a big win. 84-55 for the Eagles there. And just one other game going on today, but it's a crucial one in the title race. The Leicester Riders hosting the London Lions, and we'll be sure to keep an eye on that game today, Jason, as I know a lot of people will. Well,
we have really been treated this year in terms of this last month of how close this league can be. It looked like Leicester were out of it at one point in the top 3. Then they've come storming back, and that game is huge tonight in London. But Newcastle toppling Bristol, and Bristol beating Manchester last week. Anything can happen at this, and that's what we want. That's what the neutrals want. Everyone watching the game doesn't want any blowouts. It's still all to play for at all positions.
And Manchester and Surrey will go again on Saturday, and then the weekend is rounded out with the final game of the regular season as Cheshire Phoenix and Newcastle Eagles. And taking a look at the standings, so the London Lions still holding that top spot, but the Leicester Riders are closing in. That game will tip off in a few minutes' time. You can catch that live on DAZN. Manchester level on points with the Eagles, but Manchester hold the head-to-head over them. And you can see there, Surrey in 8th place, chasing down the Phoenix. Cheshire have the head-to-head, but the 89ers with a game in hand.
So really, Kaz, Manchester take care of business here tonight, and they're in 4th place. You know, not really, I would say, home court advantage with it being 2 games, 1 at home and 1 away. I guess you get to pick which one you play first. So a small advantage, I would say. And on the other hand, Surrey 89ers, you know, they can still finish above Manchester, bizarrely, if everything goes their way, and they win all 3 games. So much to play for.
There certainly is. So earlier, Jason caught up with both teams' head coaches, Surrey's Lloyd Gardner and Manchester's Herman Mandole, for their thoughts on today's game.
Yeah. So Coach Lloyd Gardner, ahead of tonight's game against Manchester, plenty of permutations in the league, and you guys could finish 4th to 8th, who knows? But basically, you have to win out. Tough game ahead tonight, Lloyd.
Yeah, really tough game. Manchester have been playing well lately. Obviously, weird scenario with them playing them back-to-back tonight and the weekend. But yeah, heavy schedule for us, heavy schedule for lots of teams at the moment. So yeah, still a lot to play for, as you said.
And everyone knows you have a heavy schedule, a lot of games to come, and you've just got through a lot. So going into the postseason, what's your tactics regarding that? How are you going to tackle things?
Yeah, I think right now it's game by game, right? As you said, there's still a lot of ground to go, a lot of permutations that could happen depending on the other results. All we can do is take care of what we can, you know, take care of our controllables, which is the game tonight, see how it goes, and then reevaluate after that one.
And it really puts a lot of pressure with the games coming on your backcourt. Two of your backcourt players, one, Jalen Ray, is playing over 30 minutes a game. Tell us how good he's been this year for you, Jalen Ray.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. I mean, Jalen was on the team 2 years ago, got injured a lot. You know, we didn't see the best of him. Feel like we've seen that this year. You know, he's really carried us. He's a creative guard, scores, provides for others. And as you said, him and Cam have got a major responsibility in the backcourt for us. We need them to play well to win.
Well, Coach Lloyd Gardner, you've got your team to the final once already in a competition. I'm sure you'll make some noise in the playoffs. Good luck from here on out. So, Coach Herman Mandole, you've tasted victory since you've got here. Coach of the month, 1 month, and you've really been on a roll, but 2 losses on the bounce, Newcastle and Bristol. You really need this one tonight, Herman. What's your strategy going into the game?
We need to play good. So, if you play good, you have more chances to win. So right now it looks like we can lose any game, and it's only 2 losses in a row, which is good for us because we said the tone like Manchester is gonna try to win all the games. But to me, we gotta try to play good again because mostly in the last game the effort was there. I was, you know, chill after the game because the player give all the effort, 100%, but we gotta be smart and right now and don't allow like give or don't give to the other team. So this is our goal today.
And when you arrived here, 4th was a crazy ambition. It was way out of reach, but you guys have got there, but now you have to defend it. 1 win tonight should mean you get 4th. Is it important being at home to take care of business?
No. 4th, 5th is the same for us. 6 is the same because at the end of the day, with this system of playoff, where it's back-to-back, you don't have any advantage. So again, we have to play good. And if we play good, we are gonna win here or away. If we play bad, we can lose here or away. At the end of the day, is this system or this kind of system of playoff that the league decide doesn't give you advantages like to play like more game at home or away. So the team has to play good, and we gotta understand this, and then we'll see.
Coach Mandole, thank you for your time. Good luck for tonight.
So both teams coming off back-to-back losses, and they'll be eager to get back on track and get a win today.
Yeah, they will, and it's all momentum going in towards the business end of the year. Like you say, both teams losing 2. Anything is possible tonight for either of these teams. Surrey will be coming in here knowing that they can win on the road, and they'll be wanting to really inflict some pain on Manchester. Manchester, on the other hand, they'll just after an unheard of 4th place was almost impossible 3 months ago. They'll just really want that tonight.
Definitely. So someone that's going to be key for the Surrey 89ers today, Jalen Ray. He led the team with 21 points against Newcastle last weekend, playing in his 2nd stint for Surrey, and in the month of April he's been averaging 21 points per game, 4.5 assists, and he's really established himself as part of the 89ers offense this season.
Yeah, and if he stays with Surrey 89ers, the bad news for the rest of the league is he's only 25 years old, turns 26 I think in June. He's a lefty who's unorthodox, can really get to the bucket and score in the mid-range. I know he can gun the 3, but like you see there, the 15-footer is his range, but 15.3 points per game, 3.8 assists per game. But he must be tired. He's playing over 30 minutes a game, Kaz, but he's such a good player for this team.
And Ian DeBose for Manchester coming off the bench for the Flyers. He dished out 8 assists along with 12 points and 5 rebounds. He's 2nd on the team in assists per game with 3.6. He's a facilitator, but he's been making a name for himself as a tough defender.
He has, and he's very tough, and his physicality is his strength. He's definitely good at going and getting contact. We see him shooting the 3 ball there, and he can do that, but he's very good at getting into the paint, getting that contact and really establishing from down low. He can also dunk with the best of them. I used to say it was sneaky, now it's expected as he takes flight, but averaging 24 minutes a game, 9.7 points a game, 4.1 rebounds and 3.6 assists. Ian DeBose has brought a lot to this club.
So starting for the Surrey 89ers, it will be Mervyn James, Cameron Gooden, Josh Steele, Jalen Ray and Dama Delacoon. And for Manchester Basketball, it will be Zach Irvin, DJ Mitchell, Mackay Ashton Langford, Ian DeBose and Jonas Zure. And jumping for the tip, it will be Zure and Delacoon. Manchester playing in black today and Surrey in white. So we're good to go in the final home game of the regular season for Manchester Basketball, and it's Ashton Langford. Pass it to DeBose, back to Ashton Langford. Into Zure. Gets the ball, gets the foul call there as the ball's knocked out of bounds.
Referee's already establishing that, you know, contact is going to be called as Zore burst down the middle. We saw a dunk against Bristol when he went right down the middle. It made the top 5 plays of the week. That one was not able to be as spectacular, but nevertheless, the foul called. He'll be at the line for 2.
And that's the first foul on James for the 89ers. Zure hits the first free throw. He's been shooting 60% from the line so far this season when Manchester Basketball picked him up. Goes 2 of 2 from the line and gets Manchester on the scoreboard. DJ Mitchell picking up James full court. James. Mitchell putting the pressure on, comes away with the steal and crashes into our table. Ashton Langford.
And we felt the brunt of that, Kaz. I mean,
so we just got taken out by DJ Mitchell.
You probably didn't say it on screen, but DJ Mitchell flying over at us and taking away all the equipment nearly made us redundant at an early point of the game. But great hustle there by DJ Mitchell, going to the deck and trying to save it for his team.
James against Mitchell, looking to go inside. Ball's knocked away. Great D there from DJ Mitchell, and you can see he's come out with intensity early on, hasn't he? Putting the pressure on the ball. I already love the matchup. I love the matchup of James and Mitchell because they're both getting after each other. They're bigger guys that traditionally would have played closer to the bucket as the foul is called and James will get to the line. But both of those guys, they love to handle the ball out top, Kaz, and they can both defend on the perimeter. I love that little matchup We saw some Point Mitchell out here on Sunday.
We did, yeah.
He was throwing behind the back passes, setting everything up.
But when DJ Mitchell walked into this building, we all saw after probably 1 or 2 games that he could really shoot the ball. But what we have seen is an evolution of his skills too over the season. He's been able to guard quicker guys. He's handled the ball at times. He's shared the wealth. He's turned into a really good all-round player, I would say, this season.
James gets Surrey on the board. Irvin with the reverse lay-in. And how many times have we seen Zach Irvin do that? That positioning under the basket, puts underneath and rolls the ball in. Yeah, let's not fall in love too much with the layup. Ian DeBose put that one on the money for his teammate as Josh Steele with the customary step through and cans the 2. How good's he at that, Kaz? So good as Ashton Langford racing down the court, kicks it out. Ball's out of bounds and a foul called against the 89ers, so that's a second. And Ashton Langford playing with such speed, playing with such pace, had a fantastic game on Sunday. 19 points and 10 assists. He was shooting 80% from the 2-point range. Ashton Langford has just been on fire these last few games. The entire season, hasn't he? He's been good the entire season, but you're right, he's been on fire these last few games and he's just in a groove. It looks like he's hurt his hand slightly on that play. We'll see when he gets the ball in his hands how that dribble is now. It does look like, yeah, he's passing the ball with his left hand, so let's keep an eye on that with Ashton Langford with the right wrist. See Jordan Hunt check it into the game for the 89ers for the first time as Delacoon has the ball on the baseline. Going to the basket, puts it in.
And there's a guy who doesn't read really the scouting report. He just comes and goes to work. Adelican leading the league in rebounding. He's just been phenomenal for the 89ers this season.
And leading in rebounding, but leading in offensive and defensive rebounds as Ian DeBose gets to the basket.
Not many frees, Josh Steele. He did just that with the in and out move, kissed it on the glass. Ian DeBose playing already, an assist and a bucket.
Steele finds Adelican, working against Surrey. Adelican inside, tough finish at the basket.
Wow, and Surrey manhandling him really legally. Wants the push off, but Adelican playing above his size takes Surrey to school once more.
Same with Adelican leading the league in double-doubles. He's had 10 so far this season. Such an impactful player out there for the 89ers. Manchester down 1 here. DeBose finds Irvin in the corner, 3 short, picked up and put back in by Ashton Langford.
Ashton Langford squirming through, but Gooden has a slight mismatch in terms of speed and goes right at Mitchell. What a play. Drew Gooden with the finish.
That puts Surrey back on top by 1. Ashton Langford pulls up for 3, spins down. Surrey back down the court. Gooden, he'll try a 3 and he'll hit that.
Wow, and I said Drew Gooden, the old NBA player. This is Cameron Gooden we have out here. I don't know how well he's played all year, but Surrey definitely have a Gooden, Kaz.
Ashton Langford working his way to the basket. Teardrop floater, and Ashton Langford is just fantastic. As Surrey with the block at the other end for Manchester. DJ Mitchell drains it from deep. And Manchester back up by 1. Gooden going to the hole, puts it in.
Wow, and we're talking about 6-second offenses here. Nothing's gone above 8 seconds in this last minute and change as DJ Mitchell continues that trend.
We've got a Phoenix Suns 7 seconds or less offense.
We have, yes indeed.
A fast and frantic game so far. Ray looks to make some space. Steele driving inside, pulls up from the free throw line. Oh, great pass to the cutting Ray on the baseline. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touch, Manchester, so stays with Surrey. But what a pass that was inside down to Ray.
Maybe slightly off the mark, but Josh Steele's been so good over these years at getting into the paint and using the 2-footed stop. He's then able to go to counter moves. He's played well by Ashton Langford there, but Josh Steele will do that. Keep your eyes on his footwork as he gets into the key. He's very good.
And we'll see Cody John and Marcus Delpeche in for Manchester. And that will be a shot clock violation for the 89ers. Manchester force a turnover and get the ball back.
They do, but looks like Manchester have come out and had some really, really good plays, and they're 1 down. How good has it been this last, I would say, a few months here in Manchester? The game has been so quick, Kaz. We've barely had a chance to get in each other's commentating space. It's been that quick.
They've been playing at an incredibly fast pace as Irvin hangs in the air, can't get the roll. Gooden pulls up for 3, nails it.
Wow, Gooden with an early heat check. He is absolutely on fire. He moves to 10 personal.
DeBose to Delpeche. Delpeche up against Hunt. Has to back it out. John's there. John finds Delpeche inside. 6 seconds. Delpeche. The Delpeche hook shot. That's the official trademark move.
It is, and Surrey did him a favour. If they'd have made him shoot the layup, they'd have had a better chance. The Delpeche hook shot, may as well count that all day.
Ogudengbe into the game for the first time for Surrey. Nails a big shot for Surrey and puts them up by 4. Irvin, though, has something to say about that and cuts the lead down to 2.
That was ridiculous, Kaz. We had a really good view of that one. The Euro step by Zach Irvin. What a move by the number 7.
And John has Irvin up ahead. Controlling it for Manchester. Mitchell thought about the shot, spins, goes to the basket, in off the glass. Tie game at 19-all.
And that's as tough a finish as you're going to see as he spun back off that glass.
Gooden. Steele into Hunt. Hands it off to Ray. Ray's double teams. Picked up by John. Del Pesh going all the way. He'll put the reverse in, and we've got reverse layups coming out of our ears today, Jason.
Wow, 19 each, 21-19 make that, sorry, but Cody John jumped in the air, but he made the right decision, rewarded the big fella Del Pesh for running. He didn't really have to reverse that though, did he? You know, you don't get, do you get an extra point for that?
Looks better though, doesn't it?
It does, it does.
John, Irvin up ahead. Irvin, he'll lay it in. And Manchester, those fast break points, you know they're a team that like to play fast. They average 12.6 fast break points per game. They're getting things started early here as Ray pulls up for the short jumper.
It was a nice back cut by Ray. It was overplayed, good and working well with his teammate, fed him back door. Really a lovely pull up by Jalen Ray.
It's a 2-point Manchester lead. John doubled, gets to the basket. He's going to go to the foul line. And Cody John has been a real energy player off the bench for Manchester.
Well, he's just at times, in probably his mind, a one-man wrecking crew. He just goes to work, Kaz. Whenever he gets the ball, he's always on the front foot trying to attack. Just been good, been really good.
Kyle Carey and Mackay Ashton-Langford back in for Manchester. Andrew Lawrence and Nedas Cholovinskas in for the 89ers.
So while we get a break in play, Kaz, let's welcome Mackay Ashton-Langford's family into the building. You know, Father Damar, Mum Sasha, Brother Cassius, all here in attendance coming over from the US, you know, to see their son play. They're very, very proud of him over here. And he's definitely settled in and been a big part of Manchester's real success in the last few months. But, you know, welcome the Ashton-Langford family.
Absolutely, and, you know, a real basketballing family as well. Damar said, you know, that's where where Mackay gets his hang time from, but he gets his shooting from his mum, Sasha.
Yeah.
So it's a 3-point Manchester lead. Lawrence to Ogadengbe. Works against Ashton-Langford. Ogadengbe out to Hunt. Some good ball movement here from the 89ers. Lawrence finds Cholovinskas in the corner. Bounces out. That's a great look for the young player. Carey to Del Pesh. Hands it off to Ashton-Langford.
Oh, nice pass.
Lobs it over
nice
to Del
pass.
Pesh, who'll just finish underneath. Takes an easy 2. And Marcus Del Pesh up to 6 points personal.
So Ashton-Langford has not shot a 3 ball yet. I'll tell you why, his wrist is slightly bothering him, but he's done everything else, and he's just one of those guys that can get it done wherever is needed. He just puts that on a plate to Del Pesh. Nice screen and roll, and Manchester right now are just outrunning Surrey.
Cholovinskas goes against John. And foul is called. That'll be the second foul on Manchester. And that's on John, his first.
So Cholovinskas at the line, he's played 14 minutes per game, Kaz, this season. We know he had that really good game in the semi-final at Leicester, which basically won that one down the stretch. He's had 17 points personal. That's his best for the season against Bristol, but he's beginning to really mature. You noticed there he had Cody John. He didn't force the issue, he just backed him down and took his time. He's going to be a good player.
He certainly is, as he goes 2 of 2 from the line. Previous under-18 National Player of the Year for Basketball England in the 2022-23 season. He's certainly a player I know a lot of people are excited to see out there on court, see what he can do in the Super League. So it's back to a 3-point Manchester lead. Ashton-Langford to John. John pulls up for 3, splashes it in.
Big time player, big time shooter, Cody John, but Surrey in that zone, that will be one way to get them out of it as they sat in that 3-2 zone, Kaz, and got punished.
Ogadengbe to Ray. Ray outside, deep 3 off the back iron, but an offensive board for the 89ers. Ogadengbe, he'll try a 3, won't go. Ashton-Langford picks up the rebound and he's fouled. So that's foul number 4 on the 89ers. It'll be Manchester ball from the sideline. First on Adelakun.
So Elijah Feige into the game gives Delpesh a rest.
As John looks to go. Oh, hook shot won't fall, but if AJ chasing the ball down, it comes up into the hands of Surrey. And Ray all the way. That'll be basket interference by DJ Mitchell. Playing too high above the rim on that one.
It happened quickly, but I thought they called a foul originally, but it was goaltending that was called. A nice move again.
So we saw 3 basket interference calls last Sunday against Bristol, and
really?
In the first half.
I can't believe you know that. You know every stat. If you know how many basket interference calls there were, you're on it, Kaz.
I try my best.
I mean, come on.
So after Surrey force the turnover, they have the ball. 10-second difference between the shot and game clock. Lawrence looks to pass out of it. Ogadengbe inside, and ball's just knocked out of bounds. Last touch, Surrey. So Manchester have it. 17.8 on the clock. So Manchester can hold for the final shot of the quarter here. And the ball is in the hands of that man there, Mackay Ashton Langford. Just under 5 assists per game. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. DJ Mitchell has it into the corner. John, and off the rim, Ashton Langford puts it up at the end of the clock, but that will do it for the end of the first quarter. A 29-25 lead for Manchester Basketball over the Surrey 89ers. Zach Irvin and Marcus Delpesh leading the way for Manchester with 6 points apiece, and Cam Gooden at 10 points for the 89ers.
So both of these teams have been known for their defense. Lloyd Gardner defensively is a very, very good coach, and we can see Herman Mandola has really made it about defense. But looking at them stats, who comes to watch defense, guys? Let's talk about offense.
Look at that shooting there, 57% from the field for Manchester to 63% for the 89ers. Both teams hitting 2 from behind the arc. 75% each from the line, 3 or 4 evenly matched there. And the battle of the boards, 8 rebounds each. And Jason, that's something to keep an eye on throughout today's game, because we saw on Sunday against Bristol, they held Manchester to just 26 rebounds. They've been averaging just under 37 a game. But coming up against the Surrey 89ers, they're a team who dominated the glass against Newcastle, had 45 to Newcastle's 29. Dame Adelakun had 14 rebounds alone and 6 offensive, so they're going to need to adjust to try and get those rebounds, but to do it against a team like Surrey, it's a really difficult task.
Yeah, well, we're going to go stat crazy here, Kaz, because I'm going to also add that Surrey averaging 34.4 rebounds per game and Manchester 33.8. There's nothing in these 2 basketball teams. But in terms of Manchester, one of the things that has impacted that is that Elijah Ifeje is playing minutes sparingly now. In the last, I would say, 5 games, he's played around 11 minutes average per game. He's not really been a factor, and that's because of the play of Delpesh and the arrival of Zore, and also his foul trouble. So Elijah Ifeje is significantly missed in terms of defensive and offensive glass when he's not on the basketball court. We had a lot of stats to discuss there.
We did, didn't we? Yeah. I love a good stat. And for anybody keeping an eye on the London-Leicester game, they're heading towards the end of the first quarter. It's a 23-6 lead for London over the Riders.
Wow, who would have thunk it? I mean, 23-6.
I'm sure it's not going to stay like that for too long, but back on the court here in Manchester. The second quarter's underway. Elijah Ifeje intercepts that. So Manchester a chance to increase this lead as Mitchell looks to pass out. John has it, back to Mitchell. Mitchell, and I think we got a lob without the ball.
It would have been nice because both big men were trying to connect in Mitchell and Ifeje, and what a pass by Adelakun. Josh Steele should have made that one.
Ashton Langford setting things up for Manchester. He's going to take it, floater, drops it in. And Ashton Langford just has that really nice soft touch on the floater when he puts the ball in the basket.
He does, but I love the smart play, how he kept the defense on his back. Chris Paul kind of maneuver as he found his way into the hoop, but Kyle Carey defending really, really well as he does all the time.
Delacune with another offensive rebound. Gooden in the corner, it's too strong. Carey pulls down the rebound. John against Gooden. Needs some help, finds Carey. Carey.
Oh, it was a nice play too. It was a beautiful play. He faked the handoff, did everything right, and just forgot the basketball, but really savvy move by Kyle Carey, just didn't execute.
See Zach Irvin back in for Manchester, and Mervyn James in for Surrey. James. Steele. Back out to James. James leading the team in points per game this season, gets to the basket, draws the foul. That's going to put him at the line for 2. And a player in his first season for Surrey. He graduated Riders University in New Jersey last summer, where he spent 3 years. He's been averaging just under 18 points per game and 6 rebounds a game for the 89ers so far this season.
Yeah, he's been so good. He's been really, really consistent too. If you look at his game log over the games, he's not really gone too high or too low. He's just, you know what you're going to get from James whenever he's out there. But one of the differences in the two teams is Nathan Kayo is out tonight. He's a big loss for any team. But for Manchester, they can absorb that. If you look at the Surrey bench, if they're missing 1 or 2 players, it's not ideal for them.
The Bows can't get their basket to go. Steele racing down the court. Gooden pulls up for 3. Won't go if AJ with the rebound. Ashton Langford over to Irvin. Irvin catches in the air and puts it in the basket.
Zach Irvin flying all over there. Give that man a cape. Came out of nowhere. Beautiful pass by, I think it was Ashton Langford. Zach Irvin had the courtesy to finish, but here's news. Elijah Efeje really playing well, inhaling every rebound that goes up. He's on 0 fouls, guys. 0 fouls.
And that's a good sign for Manchester.
Sure is.
As Ashton Langford stops, passes out. Carey, 3. Won't go. Delacune with rebound number 4.
Yeah, get back in Carey's corner.
Ray, outside the 3-point line, gets the roll.
Jalen Ray and Cameron Gooden, they can play tired. They can keep going.
Irvin finds DeBose. DeBose, oh, what a pass inside to Efeje. Efeje working hard. It's going to put him at the foul line. And Surrey pick up their first team foul this quarter. That's the second on Delacune, so he's going to come out of the game. Jordan Hunt will be back in for the 89ers, but Delacune, such a key piece for this 89ers squad. That's a bit of an early foul for him to pick up here in the second.
He is, because that's the reason they probably out-rebound Manchester as a team, because of that man that's just gone out wearing number 32 in white, Dame Delacune. But Elijah Efeje gives you a different look for Manchester. He's at the line now, and when you play Zohore, you've got a bigger presence inside. When you play Marcus Del Pesh, you get a guy that can play inside back to basket. But when you get Efeje, you get continual movement, and you get him playing like a guard at times. So it's just really, really effective how Coach Herman Mandoli can rotate those 3 big guys. He's probably stumbled along something really good here.
So late, Elijah Efeje can't get the second free throw to go. Surrey a chance to cut this to a single possession game here. James over to Steele. Into James, comes up against Irvin. Irvin making a stand as James finishes over him, and that was a really difficult finish.
Really good defense by Zach Irvin, just better offense by James.
Manchester's leads down to 2. Efeje spinning inside, shot bounces out. And the 89ers with a chance to tie or take the lead here. Gooden. Hunt against DeBose. Hunt back out to Gooden. He's got space for 3. And Surrey go ahead by 1. And you cannot leave Cam Gooden open like that behind the line. He's up to 13 points personal.
Wow. Cam Gooden's just been absolutely on fire.
Ashton Langford, his 3's too strong. Picked up by Gooden. James with a long 2. Not that time. And Ashton Langford pushing the pace here for Manchester. DeBose thought about the shot. Drives inside. Needs to get the ball over. And Ray on the break against DeBose. Fouls on DeBose. And a bit of a messy possession there, Jason.
But you have to have major respect for Lloyd Gardner and his coaching staff to get these guys to play at this intensity, going into really a long stretch of games, and the preparation has to be on point because, no disrespect, but you're working within, I would guess, a smaller team than some of the other teams in the league. Andrew Lawrence has been injured for a lot of this season. So those guards, and count Josh Steele in this, in Steele, Ray and Gooden, how good must they have been over the course of this year to still be in this physical shape right now?
And they've got Surrey. So Surrey playing tonight. They'll be playing Manchester on Saturday. And then they have one final game on Sunday against Bristol. So a tough stretch to the end of the season for Surrey.
I think as well, Surrey fortunate to get Jalen Ray back. It's his second stint with the club. Last year played in Kosovo. You know, took a year out in between playing for Surrey. But you know, Lloyd Gardner will be thrilled to have him back this year.
Jalen Ray, 2 of 2 from the line. No surprise to anyone. He leads the league in free throws. Free throw percentage, get my words out, with 92.2%. He is the guy you want on the foul line.
Yeah, he is.
If you're Surrey, not if you're Manchester.
No.
So a 3-point Surrey lead.
So towel needed at one end. A little bit of perspiration from Josh Steele hitting the deck. But Surrey, if you watch now, will be sat in that 2-3 zone. I think it also allows them to stay out of foul trouble and not really guard full court. And little breaks in play like this will give them guys a breather. But last time we saw this, Cody John quickly made him get out of it by gunning the 3-ball on this right-hand side. He's locked and loaded as always on the left. We'll see how they go.
And Cody John, when we see him in off the bench, he's just a really effective scorer. Had 5 points against Bristol on Sunday, but there were 5 big points, 2 big baskets when they were needed, as Ashton Langford weaves his way inside.
Good pass.
Throws it up to Surrey, and Surrey double teamed underneath the basket, working to get it in. Irvin has it, 4 seconds. Can't get it to go.
Zoré not as fleet of foot as Ifeje, but a beautiful recognised pass by Ashton Langford as he spotted the mismatch. On the other end, that goes into row Z from James. You had to be 12 foot to probably catch that basketball, but just a recognition from Ashton Langford at the other end to throw that ball into Zoré. Zoré not able to gather his feet quick enough to make the layup, but Ashton Langford just in a groove.
Ashton Langford in his last 4 games has been averaging 17.7 points per game, 6.2 assists, and shooting 53.2% from the field as DJ Mitchell, high arcing 3, bounces off. Lawrence against John. Hunt back to Lawrence. Hunt. Oh, great fake, drives inside, takes it all the way, but he's blocked by Mitchell. Surrey chasing down the ball, won't get it to go, but Ashton Langford chases it down.
And that, so credit Zoré for getting out there and running, but he really didn't want that basketball thrown ahead. Zach Irvin let that one go and said, go get that big fella. Look at him chugging down that court, misses the layup. Ashton Langford on hand once again, but really put Zoré in a tough position.
So a timeout called. It seems we want to talk things over. A 3-point Surrey lead here in the second quarter. And Jason, it's been an 11-4 run for Surrey in the last 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, 4 minutes remain. It's a really, really smart timeout to have for them. They'll just be able to get some fluids in them, talk it over. They'll be really, really happy with Lloyd Gardner of how they've played so far. It's a high-scoring game, really fast. Just can they keep it up in the second half?
And leading the way for Manchester, it's Ashton Langford and Marcus Delpeche on those 6 points each. Cam Gooden with 13 for the 89ers. He's been averaging just over 12 a game, and we're only in the second quarter.
Yeah, 13 points, even in the first half, but he's potentially got a chance to get to 20 in this first half.
And he's a player playing his second season for Surrey. He's increased his statistics across the board in scoring, rebounding, his assists, his field goal percentage. And you love to see that, don't you, when you've got a player that returns and they just improve season on season.
Well, you do when you know the scouting report says coming in that that's the big three. James, Gooden and Ray are the guys that can put the ball through the hoop with ease. So you key in on those guys. So it's even more impressive that Gooden can just go to work on defenders such as Zach Irving and Mackay Ashton Langford and get his 13 points.
So back underway, it's Surrey ball. Up 3 here in Manchester in the first half. Lawrence uses the screen from Hunt. Lawrence looks to go all the way.
Really went round the houses before that one went down, but nevertheless made it. And Dad Ronaldo Lawrence, legend of this basketball game in England, ex-Crystal Palace, will have been loving that. If you're watching Ronaldo, enjoy that move.
Mitchell with a behind-the-back pass. Delpeche finds John. John doubled, needs some help. Delpeche is there, lines up a 3 off the rim, and Marcus Delpeche has been, that's a good look because he has been shooting an incredible amount of threes the last few games, hasn't he? Just nailing them for the first time in his career.
Before that, he was 3 for 4. Never took a 3-point shot until probably 2 games ago.
Ray against Delpeche, 3 seconds, time running down. Ray, too much on it. John has the rebound. Irvin, back to John. John for 3. Won't go. Delpeche with the offensive board. Manchester have another chance. And Mitchell, his 3, bouncing out. Manchester are getting the looks here, but they're just not dropping.
Yeah, Surrey dodging a bullet at the moment, and they'll need to win this game. They'll have to have some luck involved to stay the course, but DJ Mitchell missing probably as good as a layup for him there.
Hunt finishes at the other end for Surrey and puts them up by 7 as we've got a timeout called. Again, Coach Herman Mandole not happy with what he's seen on the floor and wants to talk it through with his team. So Jason, Surrey able to come out firing here in the second. Manchester still with just 4 points this quarter.
Yeah, Coach Herman Mandole getting after his team. Some would say a little bit treading that line of being a little bit demonstrative and supportive, but nevertheless, I'm not going to apologise for his passion. But yes, Surrey have just outplayed them. They've played them well on the ball screen. They've executed in the half court. They've just really come to play.
And if we look at the scoring there, Zach Irvin leading the way for Manchester with 8 points. Cam Gooden with those 13. And looking down the scoreboard for the Surrey 89ers, everyone that's been out on court for the team has scored, has got themselves on the scoreboard. Cam Gooden shooting a huge 71% while racking up those 13 points as well. So he's scoring and he's doing it very efficiently.
But he's way ahead of anyone else out here, and he just looks like the best player. But when you've got Jalen Ray in the backcourt who can also score, and James, who is also the leading scorer on this team, you really have a chance of being open at times on switches. And Cameron Gooden's just executed to perfection.
So teams back out on court, just over 3 minutes to play in the half, and a 7-point 89ers lead. Ashton Langford has it for Manchester. Mitchell swings it to John. John with space for 3. No good. Big rebound for Mitchell, who's fouled. And DJ Mitchell will be going to the line for 2.
DJ Mitchell doing a little bit of everything. We know he's a very, very good rebounder. He's been in the top 10 in rebounds in the league for most of the season. Not quite sure what he's averaging right now, but it's definitely up there with the best of them. He can get out and run too.
Just under 6 a game, leads the team.
Yeah, he's just done a bit of everything as the season's gone on. I'm really impressed.
He's also second in the league in made three-pointers with 70 so far this season. Hits his first free throw.
Probably one of those guys that needs a hand in his face as well. If he's wide open, it's slightly uncomfortable. If he has a hand in his face, whoa! And the putback dunk. No one boxed DJ Mitchell out. And no disrespect for human life as he went right down the middle, threw that one through the iron. That's a highlight play.
Gets his own rebound, and that brings Manchester back within 4. That's got the crowd fired up. Ogadengbe, his 3 from the outside, and that's just quietened that crowd that were on their feet after that DJ Mitchell dunk. Ashton Langford, floater, gets the roll, and that is just the perfect shot for Ashton Langford.
It is, but what a play by DJ Mitchell. And then Ogundengi says, okay, crowd, everybody sit back down as he nails the 3 as Gooden goes round the defense. Can he make it 2 in a row? Ogundengi just off.
Mitchell to Ashton Langford. Ashton Langford up to Delpesh, and Marcus Delpesh rocking the rim. Manchester down 5. Ashton Langford with the picture-perfect pass, and Marcus Delpesh always ready underneath the basket.
But we've seen this movie before. 3 times that has happened where Delpesh has set the ball screen and he's turned, his angle of his body is perfect and he's on his way to the bucket. But we see the dramatic throw down here from Mitchell. But Delpesh, a thing of beauty in terms of ball screening, as we see there, Mackay Ashton Langford with the vision to see people waving out of planes, Kaz.
So Manchester cut the lead now down to 3, a single possession game. So a big swing after that timeout that Coach Mandole called just around a minute or so ago.
And the funny thing is, everyone is really excited. Manchester have had dunks, they've had putbacks, but Surrey are still 3 points up.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're in a very, very comfortable place. Manchester have just had their run, and Surrey have just easily got through it. And we're going to go into half-time with probably a 5-point disparity either way, but Surrey will be in a really, really positive frame of mind right now.
And as both teams coming off those back-to-back losses, it's a game as well. Playoff implications. Seeding is all up for grabs, isn't it, as we mentioned to start with. So really important as we get down the end of this season. After coming off a couple of losses, you want to finish strong heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's momentum at this point. You know, you want to be playing well at this point of the season anyway, but especially when the playoffs are 2 or 3 games away, you really want to be playing well. What do you make of the home and away game? If you had the choice, would you play away first? Would you play home?
I'd play home first.
You would?
Yeah.
To get the
momentum.
momentum.
Get it started,
right,
yeah.
Okay.
Start strong. But I'm sure there's a lot of coaches that are probably trying to decide what they prefer. Is Ashton Langford. Ogadengbe at the other end, high off the glass, tipped in by Jordan Hunt with a bit of a volleyball tip in there.
Well, Jordan Hunt quietly putting himself a nice game together, Kaz.
DJ Mitchell throws it up to Delpesh, and Delpesh throws it down. And Marcus Delpesh is showing out here today at the National Basketball Performance Centre, playing above the rim.
DJ Mitchell with a beautiful pass, but Marcus Delpesh, we've seen over these last few games the rebirth of Delpesh.
Steal out to Ogadengbe. Ball's in the corner, driving baseline, draws the foul with 1.7 left on the shot clock. And that's going to be the 3rd team foul on Manchester. 2 shots to come for Surrey.
And Cody John saying it's never a foul, but I'm telling you this, as a referee, that foul was for the play before when Ogundenbi got nothing as he was going up. That time he put his nose down and got to the bucket. It's a veteran move by the number 15.
So the 2nd foul on Cody John for Manchester. And Teo Ogadengbe at the line, shooting 2. He's playing in his 10th season for Surrey. Gets the first free throw to go. He spent time in the BBL with the Glasgow Rocks, London Lions, and he was the first ever signed for the Surrey Scorchers in the BBL. He's a real legend of the game here as he goes 2 of 2 from the line. 5.89ers lead. Mitchell going inside. Delpeche with the rebound, out to John. John finds Mitchell, time and space for 3, too much on it. Steele leads the way for the 89ers. Ray. It's to Bakali, out to Ogadengbi. 3 won't go. Shot clock's off, 16 seconds in the half. Ashton Langford has Steele on him, 10 seconds. Manchester holding for the last shot. 4 seconds, Ashton Langford gonna take it to the hole and gets the basket. Time will expire. And a 3-point Surrey lead as we head into halftime. Ashton Langford with a big bucket to end the half, takes him up to 10 points and cuts it to a single possession game.
Cody John just talking to the referee there. He wanted a foul, but I think the referees have had a great half. The communication's been good. You know, I'm not a referee, but I know when I see good communication, and they've really allowed this game to flow. We've been treated to some awesome basketball. 44 plays 47, and those stats are off the chart, really, in terms of 2-point shooting, field goal percentage.
43% for Manchester, having dropped slightly from the first quarter, but Surrey shooting 52% from the field. Also dropping in 5 3-pointers. Manchester not having hit a 3 in that second quarter. Shooting just 13% to Surrey's 38. And the rebounding battle that we spoke about earlier, Manchester just edging it 23-21. And a key point there, Jason, 10 assists for Manchester to Surrey's 4 is something we've spoken about all season. People have been bored of us hearing us say it, but when Manchester move the ball and they play fast, it works very well for them.
Yeah, and we've said all year that they're very, very good on the break. Under Callum Jones, they were exceptional on the break. And they also could score in around the 0 to 10 seconds into the offense. But what they weren't good at is running the half-court sets, and they've got much better at it. And we've seen lob after lob. You know, Delpeche, 10 points personal. It's because of the ball movement, and he's been the beneficiary at the end.
So while we get ready for the second half, stay tuned for the plays of the week and an interview with Manchester Basketball's Ian DeBose and head coach Herman Mandole.
A new dawn rises, where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball. A new dawn is here.
Basketball is the second most played sport by young people in the UK. And this is a great opportunity for us to engage the younger generation in being more sustainable, recycling more, and ultimately reducing waste and protecting the environment.
In the trash can and throwing this away in the trash can, you're doing it in the right place. You're composting, you're recycling, you're reducing, reusing. It's just super important to learn that from a young age because you carry that into your adult life.
I majored in marine science and I minored in sustainability. So it's actually really exciting to see us partner with a company who is really invested in sustainability.
I think it's fantastic. FIFA is such a quality name in the waste and sustainability sector. We're a quality name in our sector. They're very much about community. We're very much about community. So I think it's going to be a great partnership.
Yeah, man, like I said, I'm from Durham, North Carolina. It's the home of, I think it's one of the biggest basketball places in the world. You know, I'm from Durham, where Duke University is, so my whole life I watched ACC basketball growing up, and I wanted to be a part of that. So basketball was a huge thing. High school basketball, AAU basketball, every level of basketball is like the most important thing. So I think that played a huge role in me pursuing it, and I loved the game ever since I was like 4 years old. I was playing, and playing in the UK, like I said, I've had a lot of success in this league. I enjoy the league. I love the country, like the play style. It really fits my game. And so, like I said, last year I had success. Kind of, unfortunately, got cut short due to injury. And now I have an opportunity to come back and be at this time of the year where like the basketball is like the best, like I said, meaningful basketball is what you want to play. Like these games matter, everything matters, and like it adds so much fuel to the fire. And so like now I have the opportunity to do that. You know, it's very fortunate. Getting back, you have to get over some mental hurdles, you have to fight, and it really just getting those practice, those time in the gym that builds your confidence. You know, I put a lot of work in, I lifted a lot of weights, I did a lot of sprints, I did a lot of training sessions to get back here. So that's the process, like I said. But from a fan's perspective, you know, it's kind of funny. You see a guy out and all of a sudden he's just back on, but he did a lot of work to just be able to be on that court, to check in the game for even 1 minute, you know, so that was the process for sure. Feeling good, man. Like I said, I'm catching a rhythm. I think the whole team is catching a rhythm as well. Like I said, it was definitely a bit of grace period on like just kind of maturation of the team and trying to figure out who we want to be, and I think we're coming into our own. But like I said, I'm really confident in myself. I feel really good about my game. I'm excited, like I'm really excited for all these matches. Like I said, meaningful basketball is what you want. So like every single game I'm excited to play. And like I said, once you're injured, you don't take any game for granted, you know, because I've had time where I missed these games and it wasn't fun, you know. I was cheering my guys on, but I wanted to be on the court so bad. But yeah, feeling good, excited for the next couple of weeks, and like I said, heading into playoffs. Like I said, even closing down the regular season, you know, want to finish as strong as we can. It's not like we're just coasting into the playoffs. Like we want to win every single game we play, and looking forward to each game. I think we spoke about this before, but this league is like anybody can beat anybody, and like we've shown we can beat anybody. And we've won at least a game against every team in this league, and so it just shows that any given night anything can happen. And I believe in myself, I believe in our team, I believe in the organization, and so I'm excited to see where we go. I think the sky's the limit for us. Like really, we go as far as we take ourselves. So you know, obviously it's going to be competitive. It's not going to be easy, and nobody's going to give us anything. But I'm definitely very excited to see where we're going. Like I think we got a chance, so we have to go. And whatever I think, we have to go out there and prove it. And so I'll do everything I can to prove that message for sure.
Flop warning now on FJ as Alan Aikens able to finish things off to Bose. Takes the contact, hangs, and FJ cleans up the mess at the buzzer.
Wow, they brought that one out.
There's a steal, quickly given back to Tyler Peterson, and Peterson this time throws it down with 2 hands.
Reward the good defense, you know, getting out there, forcing the steal. And he's doing it on both ends of the floor, as you can see.
Jane Dallaire shuts it down.
By Lewis. Swats it into the stands almost there.
Kendall Lewis is one of the most athletic players that I've seen in a long time.
He got high up in the air. Inside, throws it down, takes the contact.
Tell us how you really feel, big fella. Throw it down with the contact. Wow.
And Caledonia shifting back into that zone defense. Oh, it's stolen by Lewis. And Lewis with the spin. And Lewis with the flush. And Bristol Flyers a quick 5-0 run. Capped off by a Kendall Lewis jam. Kendall Lewis comes away with the steal, the spin, and the finish.
Shot clock under 10. Whelan into Barnes. Barnes brilliant. Fagbenley pops it home.
And there we go. Toto Fagbenley making it count.
Groves looks. He's got loads of open space. Why not go for the dunk? Hello, Jacob Groves is in the building. Finishing high above the rim.
Oh, that was an easy steal, Spielman. That's how you show off on a Sunday afternoon.
And there we go. That's how to get back into the game. Boy has bounced.
Lobbed up to Shelton, who absolutely hammers it down.
Unbelievable. From the out of bounds as well. Just sort of plucked it out of the air and threw it down.
I started to play when I was 10 years old in my neighbor, which is Villa Madero in Argentina, Buenos Aires. And I fall in love, you know. I used to play football, soccer, because in Argentina it's like the main sport, you know. It's the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one is football, and then the others come. And I used to play football. I love football, but when I started to practice basketball, I fall in love, you know. We didn't have enough money in my family, so when I was 15 years old, the club gave me the chance to be like, the name is like a monitor, which is one young guy who start to coach, you know, help the coaches in mini basketball. Helping that way, the club don't make me pay, you know, for the month. So I start there just to help my family, because I have two ways, or work in that way, like helping the club, or stop to play basketball. So I think be player is the best job in the world, and be coach is the second one. I dream basketball, I eat basketball, I live basketball. And when I realized I'm not gonna be able to live basketball as a player, I have to decide to live basketball in another way, and coach was the closer one, you know what I mean? As a coach, I know I'm not the most important guy in the team. I know the players are the most important piece, you know, in the team. And I try to be connector between them. I try to give confidence, and then I try to be tough with the thing that I think that I hurt the team. I used to say, like, when you are thinking in the team, you are not going to make any mistake. When you're thinking yourself, you probably make a mistake. It's my second month here in Manchester. I'm really happy because the players, they both my idea, you know. I think they are playing with physicality, which is something to me very, very important, because everybody can do this. I think now we have one clear style. My ambition when I come here is like becoming in a good team, and then try to be solid. You know, I think if we are solid, we can beat every team here in the league. My dream with this team is to start the first playoff team, with the first playoff game with physicality, you know, in good mood and having fun.
Rises, where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball, a new dawn is here.
Welcome back into the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester. The Surrey 89ers have a 3-point lead over Manchester Basketball, 47-44, and it has been Cam Gooden who has been putting on a show for the 89ers. 13 points, hitting 3 of 4 from behind the three-point line, 2 rebounds, an assist and 2 steals, and shooting 71% from the field. He has been huge for the 89ers today, Jason.
He has, but we also knew that Jalen Ray would throw in some baskets too. He's at 9 points, but on the other end, Manchester have more balanced scoring in terms of Ashton Langford, Delpeche on 10, Irvin and Mitchell both on 8. So they're attacking in committee really, whereas Surrey are depending on those 2 guys at the moment. Can they keep that going? they'll definitely be happy with the 3-point lead they've got going into the second.
Yeah, for Manchester, Mackay Ashton Langford, those 10 points, 6 assists and 5 rebounds along with a steal. And Marcus Delpeche off the bench with 10 points and 3 rebounds, a couple of offensive rebounds. And we spoke about the rebounding earlier for Manchester, Jason, up to 23 rebounds, Surrey with 21, but whilst Manchester are down by 3, that rebounding improvement since Sunday is definitely going to be a positive for them heading into the third quarter.
Yeah, the rebounding will be really important, as it always is every game. You know, both those teams really cancel each other out on the glass, but I think the bigger factor, Kaz, we're looking at is, can Surrey sustain this level of performance? 44 points to place 47. It's a really, really high-scoring game, and it's been played at a frantic pace. So can Surrey perform at that level in the second half? Speaking of Curry, you're watching the NBA playoffs.
I am watching the NBA playoffs, because how can you not watch Steph Curry run around scoring on everyone?
Ridiculous. I know we're going off piece here, but NBA, plenty of basketball coming to a really, really good point at the stage of this season, and well, the NBA has been really, really good these last couple of months. It's going to be even better this next month.
It definitely is. We're back out on court here. DJ Mitchell looks to get things started. Can't get his 3 to fall. And the ball is with the 89ers. They have that 3-point lead. Gooden. Ray. Back to Gooden. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Adelakun inside, works his way in, can't get it to drop. That's some great D from Delpeche.
Yeah, and a good offense by Surrey. Everyone touching the ball, and the only thing that was missing was the finish. It's a nice back cut by Zach Irving. How many times are we going to say that? Like a broken record, moving smoothly without the basketball is Zach Irving.
And that connection we see between DJ Mitchell and Zach Irving, it's really come alive in the last few games. As they really in sync out there on the court. Adelakun swings it to the corner. Ray, 3, spins out, fighting for the rebound. Adelakun with another board for the 89ers. And Ray, blocked by Mitchell. Ashton Langford all the way to the basket, gets it to fall. And Manchester are up by 1 here in the third quarter. That's a strong start in the last 90 seconds for Manchester.
Ashton Langford, a human blur, takes himself to 12 points, has a dozen already.
Mervyn James answers for the 89ers and puts Surrey back on top. It's just a back and forth game.
Ashton Langford just going the full court and laying that basketball up. He's definitely got a feel for the game. Like Madonna, he's just into the groove.
Ashton Langford, hands off. Ball's knocked out. Last touch will be Surrey. I like that. That was a good one, Jason. That was a very good one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, Madonna was great, so yeah. I think it's a target audience, Kaz. I'm not sure everyone will really respect that, but what a save by Jalen Ray.
And Gooden.
Cam Gooden goes right high with the dipsy do and the jelly on the make. What a play by Jalen Ray.
Ashton Langford backs the ball out for Manchester. DeBose thought about the shot, back to Ashton Langford. Delpeche, Mitchell alone under the basket, jams it in.
And it's been Lob City here in Manchester tonight. It's either been Mitchell to Delpeche or vice versa. And it looks like DJ Mitchell has hurt his arm on that play. Dunking the basketball, it looks like he's caught his hand on the rim.
So Mitchell
didn't look good.
Commits the foul so he can get a substitution out. We'll see Kyle Carey check back in as Mitchell gets seen to, and we hope that that's not going to be anything that's going to keep him out for too long.
Yeah, it didn't look good, Kaz, to be fair. I don't want to speculate. He's in a lot of pain over there, as you can see, but I think it was the force he dunked the ball through with. Then perhaps caught his arm on the rim.
So 1 point Surrey lead. Gooden, 3 short. Tapped into the hands of Delpeche. Ashton Langford. DeBose. Manchester down 1 here, and passes too strong. Ball
Really
goes back to
interesting
Surrey.
pass from DeBose there. It didn't look like the play that was on, but
89ers ball. Surrey playing in their first game this week. They've got 2 more to come. Saturday against Manchester and then Sunday against the Flyers. As Ray with 5 seconds on the shot clock. James, 1 second, has to put something up here. Steele will at the buzzer. It's too strong.
it was a good look for Josh Steele.
Ashton Langford takes it to the basket. Del Pesh grabs the rebounds out to DeBose, and DeBose nets the 3. Manchester go up by 2.
And that's DeBose's spot in this second half. He always makes from this left-hand side wing. And Del Pesh with his hands in.
Has Irvin up ahead, tipped away, but Del Pesh throws it down. And Marcus Del Pesh putting on a show today.
Marcus Del Pesh out here on his own. Give me something he hasn't done. He pickpockets the smallest guy on court. The lob comes back into his hands and then he dunks the ball. Del Pesh is absolutely rolling, Kaz.
Ray looks to answer with a 3 and does. That's a tough shot for Jalen Ray. Takes him up to 12 points personal and cuts the lead down to 1. DeBose, and gets the loose ball. Carey needs some help. Ashton Langford's there at the top of the key. Carey, his 3 will go! And back-to-back 3s for Manchester.
Wow, this game is a beauty. 58 plays 54.
Rejected by Ashton Langford, but a foul will be called. That'll be the first foul on Ashton Langford, but that will send Gooden to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, I was just going to say make that 58 plays 56, and then Ashton Langford came over to try detonate the ball, got the body instead. But this is a game. If you're tuned in here, do not go anywhere. 58 plays 54. We're looking over at the other games, Kaz. Tell us about that game happening in London.
London Lions up 53-32 against the Leicester Riders as they head into the second half. And that's a big game for the title race, isn't it?
So if you would have looked earlier on and you were a betting person, which neither of us are, I don't think, Kaz, but you would have probably said Manchester have an upper hand over Surrey here. You would have not said that London would have been up by that deficit against Leicester.
That's a big lead against the Riders, a really tough Riders team, as Gooden will head to the bench. Andrew Lawrence and Nedas Cholovinskas in for the 89ers. Elijah Efeje back in for Manchester. A 3-point Manchester lead. DeBose to Ashton Langford. Out to DeBose. Irvin. 8 seconds. DeBose pulls up with the short jumper. Cholovinskas hands off to Lawrence. Hunt. And intercepted by Ashton Langford. Irvin is up ahead. Gonna go to the basket. Ashton Langford, his put back. So the basket from Ashton Langford waved off, foul called before that. So Zach Irvin will be at the line, but the trailing Ashton Langford there, I know it didn't count, but it was great, wasn't it?
It's usually great when he's involved, but the one thing that happened before, as we can see, this is the thing you cannot do against this Manchester basketball club now, is be lackadaisical with the ball. They're always in the passing lanes, whether that be at the wing, whether it be in the post. And Ashton Langford was overmatched in terms of size by James, but never overmatched in terms of competitiveness.
Zach Irvin averaging 8.5 points per game and 4.7 rebounds for Manchester. Third in the league in field goal percentage is 60.7 as he nets both free throws. Takes him up to 12 points personal.
And Manchester already have 4 guys in double figures.
Ray draws the foul. Basket's good.
Any young player watching, there is a free lesson. Jalen Ray, left-handed, driving right, had Kyle Carey on his hip, initiated the contact, but as soon as he did, that ball was up in the air. Look how smart that is. And he goes through and he gets his just rewards. Really savvy play by the Hofstra guard.
Jalen Ray with 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists in today's game. And converts the 3-point play back to a 2-point game. DeBose to Ashton Langford. Ashton Langford inside, picks up the ball. If AJ is there, underneath the basket, lays it in. And great patience there from Ifeji, waiting for his defender to get up in the air. Lawrence. James against DeBose. James, hook shot's no good. Ifeji fighting for the rebound. We've got a jump ball called. It will stay 89ers basketball.
DeBose played that really well in the block. You know, we have a couple of guys on this Manchester team in both DeBose and Zach Irving that looked at times to be undermanned in terms of size. Zach Irving playing the 5 spot at times. Ian DeBose playing the 3 and the 4. They're able to really be physical with even the bigger players on the opposing team. And this is a good sight for the Manchester fans. DJ Mitchell looked like he would be out. He's back in the game.
89ers get the ball inside. It's picked up by Ashton Langford, powering down the court. Mitchell, catch and shoot 3, splashes it in. And DJ Mitchell needs no time to get back into things. First possession off the bench, drops in a 3.
He wasn't injured, no way. No way. At my full strength, I'm not running down there and shooting that 3 ball as quickly as he did.
And ball goes out, stays 89ers ball. DJ Mitchell, 13 points personal. Think you just wanted a breather?
Yeah, I think so, but look in rhythm. Ashton Langford once again with the really good decision, and DJ Mitchell with what's known as now the 3-point layup.
He makes it look so easy as the 89ers get the ball in. James finishes underneath the basket.
Speaking of easy, that play was really well ran by Lloyd Gardner and his team to sneak back door. James with the easiest of finishes.
A deep 3 from Ashton Langford and an offensive foul called off the ball. So that'll go against Manchester. That'll be on Ifeji, his first foul. I don't think DJ Mitchell is the kind of player that needs a breather. He is just non-stop, as a backcourt violation is called on the 89ers. So Manchester will get the ball back.
Credit Kyle Carey with the defense full court. Looked like they should have passed the ball into Andrew Lawrence, but Kyle Carey denied that ball full court, causing turnover by James.
Carey has been such a tough defender all season.
All career.
Yes. As Ashton Langford finds DJ Mitchell. 3 seconds.
Mitchell with a heat check.
Needs to put something up. 1 second. Mitchell too much. As Joel Levinskas comes up with the rebound. James against Mitchell. Oh, steps back. Shot doesn't go, and Ifeji grabs the board for Manchester. Lawrence to Gooden, back to Lawrence. Lawrence, James underneath the basket.
Ifeji right there to cause havoc on that layup.
Mitchell pulls up for 3 off the front of the rim, and James gonna go and lay it in for the 89ers.
Could have been an and-1, Kaz. He cut Ashton Langford across and had him right on his back. It could have been an and-1. Lloyd Gardner is asking for that because it would have been a breakaway foul as well.
So we'll see Zach Irving take a seat for Manchester and Cody John back in.
So Elijah Ifeji has played just short of 8 minutes this game. That is what he's played roughly over the last 3 or 4 games, possibly 9 minutes. But because he's not in foul trouble, he's still out there. He has 5 rebounds. He leads his team. No, he's second in the team behind Ashton Langford with 5 rebounds. He's changed a numerous amounts of shots. And he's also had a bucket to boot. Right here, he'll dunk the basketball nearly, but it will be a foul called underneath. But Elijah Afeje's energy, contagious, really.
So fouls called on Cholovinskas. His first. Afeje will be at the line for 2. And Elijah Afeje, 6.7 points per game, 4.3 rebounds. He's mentioned it just before, Jason. He's up to 5 already today. He was playing for the Montreal Alliance in the Canadian League last summer. 7.6 points per game and 4.2 rebounds there as he gets the roll on the first.
So speaking to him earlier, he always has time for you. Always, he's a fine young man. He's, you know, he speaks really, really well. And he's telling me he's not going back for the summer. He's from Montreal, but he's going to go straight to play in the Canadian League, and he possibly won't get back home till mid-season. So it's I feel for those guys who are on the road all season playing, especially the imports who are still giving 100% at this point of the season.
There's a lot of players you'll see, they'll play pretty much year-round, and it's a tough grind for them. As Adelakun inside, working against Afeje, rewarded with 2 points. Still a single possession game. Mitchell hands off to John. Afeje. Ashton Langford meets the double team. Carey in the corner, and Kyle Carey takes the contact. A chance for a 4-point play here, and Kyle Carey, that corner 3 all season long has been his bread and butter.
And it's so nice. I hope we're going to see it twice, because Kyle Carey, that is Carey's corner. Whenever he's open, and he doesn't have to be that open, he has a good chance of making it. I wonder if we could break down what percentage he shoots from the corner. I'm sure he'd be among one of the best 3-point shooters in this league. But watch this, the hoop and the harm, he'll go to the line for the extra 1.
He gets a look, he just positions himself so well, and he doesn't need much time or any space. He's going to catch, shoot, put the ball in the basket. It's what he does best, as he gets the free throw. A 4-point play for Kyle Carey. Takes him up to 7 points. Extends Manchester's lead to 7. Surrey looking for an answer here. Gooden spins and fires. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Mitchell to DeBose. Mitchell knocked away by Lawrence. Lawrence will take it to the hole and put it in.
Veteran play by Andrew Lawrence. He knew where Mitchell was, and he tipped that basketball right to himself. DJ Mitchell will want to get back at him straight away.
Mitchell spins against Lawrence, going inside, and an offensive foul will be called on DJ Mitchell. Looked like he might have led with his shoulder a bit there as he was driving in. That's Mitchell's 2nd. And we'll see Jalen Ray and Josh Steele back in for the 89ers.
Teo Ogundenbi walking past us in front of this table. He's clapping his hands. He knows that they're right there within striking distance. If they can get a bucket here, we're going to go back to a single score going into this 4th quarter.
4-second difference between the shot and game clock. Ray. Adelakun's there. Out to the corner. Ogundenbi swings it round. Gooden, his 3, spins out. 7 seconds. Mitchell has it. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. 3, 2. Mitchell took too much time there off the clock. And at the end of the 3rd, it's a 3-point Manchester lead, 71-68. Manchester winning that quarter, 27-21. And just a single possession game, Jason.
Yeah, and we're set for a really, really good 4th quarter. The shot making has been excellent. The amount of swings in the game has been very good, and it's just all poised for a really dramatic finish. Some of the plays in this game, Kaz, we must be looking at top 5 plays of the week.
We've certainly seen some highlights, haven't we? As Surrey still shooting over 50% from the field to Manchester's 48%. Both teams evenly matched on three-pointers, 6 each from behind the arc. And Manchester, again, edging that rebounding battle, 32-27. And a huge 17 assists to the 89ers 8.
Yeah, I'm just watching here. Mackay Langford's dad is going to attempt a full court shot from the half court, probably followed by his brother. But we'll go back to the highlights, and Jalen Ray blocked there by DJ Mitchell.
And leading the way for Manchester, it is DJ Mitchell with those 13 points. He's got 4 rebounds and a couple of assists and 3 big blocks. Zach Irvin and Mackay, Ashton Langford and Marcus Delpeche all dropping in 12 points apiece. Ashton Langford on a double-double with 10 assists. That's his second double-double in 2 straight games.
Unreal.
6 rebounds as well. He's flirting with a triple-double here. And for the 89ers, Cam Gooden, 18 points, hitting 3 from behind the arc, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. And Jalen Ray, 15 points, 3 assists and 2 rebounds.
3, 2, 1, Cassius, let's go.
So, really evenly matched, Jason, as we head into the 4th quarter. Manchester had a 7-point lead earlier, but Surrey cutting this down to 3.
Yeah, and it could go either way. I mean, I don't know who I'd go with right here, Kaz, because it just looks like Surrey should lose. I'll be quite honest, Manchester should win this basketball game because of Lloyd Gardner's kind of, I won't say depleted squad, but he doesn't have the depth that Manchester have. Over there, you've got Mackay Langford sat down, you've got Ian DeBose, you've still got Nicholas Lewis, who's not played a minute in a long time, and then you've got guys like Zach Irvin and Marcus Delpeche sat there in waiting.
27 bench points for Manchester to Surrey's 17. So 10 more minutes to play. As we get the 4th quarter started. DeBose, step back 3. Yes, it's good. And Ian DeBose firing to start the 4th quarter.
Was a big step back too. He was nearly at the foul line before he reversed there for the 3.
So we're looking for an answer on this possession. Ray finds Gooden. Gooden taking it inside, high off the glass. Count that, and the foul. Cam Gooden just has an answer for everything that Manchester are doing.
He's like that annoying kid at the party. He's just hanging around for too long. Manchester want this thing done. Cam Gooden is saying, no, hold on a minute. We're not just going to do that. He's the party pooper right now as he goes right down the middle and finishes with the arm 1. Make that 20, nearly 21 points personal, but what a game he's having. Surrey will go back into the zone and allow themselves to get a slight breather.
DeBose to Carey. Carey with a long 3 off the back iron. Ray with the rebound. Ray. Adelakun. The ball movement to the corner as Gooden. 3 doesn't drop. DeBose gets it over to John. John, and met there by Jalen Ray.
Strategy really coming into it now. It looks like they're probably going to stay in this zone. I don't know if they're going to go back man. No, they're going to stay in this zone here, is Lloyd Gardner, and it's really daring certain guys to shoot the ball. It's daring Kyle Carey to make the outside shot. You know Cody John will let it go, but you are probably asking, okay, guys, can you beat us from 3-point line? If you can't, it's our ball game. So rolling the dice here, Coach Lloyd Gardner.
Mervyn James subs back in for the 89ers. Irvin,
That's
corner 3 is good.
See, that's one he'll give up. I know Zach Irvin made that shot, and it's a big shot, but Lloyd Gardner will give that one up from there.
7-point lead for Manchester. Matches their biggest lead of the game so far. Steele into James. James working to the basket, hangs in the air, uses the glass.
Still in this zone. The Bowes is dared to shoot the ball, and Cody John, someone who you can dare shoot it, he will from here, but it's a big time shot by Cody John, and now Lloyd Gardner has to really think about, does he stay in this zone?
The biggest lead of the game so far for Manchester. Ray going to the basket, loses it, picked up by Carey. John racing up ahead, in off the glass, and Cody John takes the contact and will go to the foul line. And Cody John just coming up with big buckets here in the fourth quarter.
I mean, the last game we were here before Bristol, the last game I had, he was playing a game, Cody John, and he was just doing the exact thing he's doing now. Extends this ball game to a 10-point lead for Manchester. So Lloyd Gardner's dared them to shoot the ball, and Manchester made them pay.
So that foul's on Steele. John will be shooting the free throw when he comes back out onto court. We can see there Zach Irvin's corner three, and the three's dropping for Manchester up to 9.
What's in the water here in Manchester? These guys that never shot the ball. Zach Irvin couldn't make a three. He's making them with regularity now. And then you've got Del Pesh and Ifeji throwing them in. What's going on?
Do you know what? When you come out and you see these guys practicing, they're here so early and they're just practicing from behind that three-point line. Marcus Del Pesh is doing it as well. It's just like they're in rhythm. They're in rhythm. Zach Irvin
but
in
come
that
on,
corner.
Cass, but come on. Where's it come from? What's happening?
Well, I mean, Cody John's got the Sabrina Ionescu's on, so it's that Ionescu magic that's I think it's infiltrating the team.
You know that's the second highest rated worn shoe in the NBA.
It was. That's great, and it's great to see that. They're super comfy.
What is the first?
The Kobe's.
The Kobe Sixers. You don't see one really here much. I don't think there's anyone out here with a pair on, but it's good to be in touch with our shoe game, Kaz.
It is. I've got some very, very nice Steph Curry's on at the moment as Cody John hits the free throw.
So back to business here with just under 8 remaining in the ball game. Can Surrey get back within striking distance? Can they get this lead down to 5 with 5 minutes remaining? That is the task ahead for these tired men on the road.
Adelakun underneath the basket, a tough finish.
Really well-ran play off a free throw.
Cuts that down to single digits for Manchester. DeBose. John's calling for it around the outside. DeBose will take it. DeBose, he spins out. Couldn't have been further down. James. Surrey looking to cut into this deficit. Adelakun against Del Pesh. Working his way inside. Basket's good. And Del Pesh called for the foul, and Dame Adelakun, he just powers himself to the basket, so strong underneath, and that's why he's able to be so successful on the boards and scoring so well for the 89ers.
These guys have just found different people over the course of the season. They've weathered storms in the semi-final, in the quarter-final, in games this year. They've weathered these storms. It's been Josh Steele at times. It's been Adelakun. It's been James. They've just found a way to stay within games. This is a good team.
Leads down to 6 for Manchester. Irvin! Oh, what a finish underneath the basket.
Adelakun scoring at one end, and Zach Irvin says, here's one back.
And Irvin just twists and turns in the air as he gets to the basket. Steele picks up the ball. Adelakun against Del Pesh, it's loose, picked up by Ashton Langford. Ashton Langford rejected by James. Ball's out of bounds. End-line ball for Manchester.
Ashton Langford has wanted a foul called all game. He sat down on the floor saying, I want that one, but referees have just let him play. He's tough. He's Ronnie Baker tough.
He's super tough, he's Ashton Langford.
And I say that with the utmost respect. Ronnie was one of the toughest guys that I would think played, and he was underrated for that. He never really missed games. He was always on the floor. He was always physical.
Ashton Langford, the only player for Manchester that's played in all 30 games for them so far. Well, 31, including today, so far this season. As we'll see Jordan Hunt back into the game for Surrey. John passes out to the corner, gets it back. John skipping to the basket, too short. Ray has it. Steele pulls up for three. Won't go. And a long pass over, too long a pass over to DeBose from Irvin. Go out of bounds. Surrey get it back.
Zach Irvin's that guy that makes you run. He's thrown that one long for Ian DeBose, and he did just that in the first half to Zahori. Maybe doesn't want the assist.
And we'll see DJ Mitchell back in. Ian DeBose takes a seat. And DeBose, 8 points, 2 rebounds and 2 assists in his timeout on court. An 8-point Manchester lead. Just over 6 minutes to play here in the fourth. Steele looking for some help here. Great D from Zach Irvin. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Lawrence into James. James turns and fires. It's off. A big rebound for Steele and the 89ers. James, his three will go.
Big time shot to keep them alive. 5-point ball game still within reach for Surrey. And if anyone, Coach Lloyd Garner can pilot this ship down the stretch. There is an offensive foul called on Delpeche. But right now, 5-point deficit, and Coach Lloyd Garner's been here time and time again. There is no one better at seeing this game out with 5 minutes remaining. Don't write off Surrey just yet.
Steele into Gooden. Lawrence. James calling for it outside. James pulls up for the long two. Irvin to Mitchell. It's a 5-point Manchester lead. Ashton Langford using the clock. Passes over to Irvin, and Zach Irvin.
Make that assist number 11 for Ashton Langford.
Lawrence pulls up for three, spins out. Irvin grabs the board. And Andrew Lawrence called for the foul against Cody John. It'll be the second team foul on Surrey, but that Zach Irvin's reverse layups, that baseline cut to the basket is just picture perfect.
I don't think he can make a regular layup. I think he has to go on the other side and lay the ball up. He just continued to play horse as a kid and always use that shot.
He just likes to make the difficult shot.
Yeah, but he moves really well without the ball, Kaz. He's one of those guys that doesn't need players running for him. He just finds seams.
Mitchell's three sinks it from behind the arc, and it puts Manchester back up 10. Mitchell just coming up with big shot after big shot for Manchester. 16 points for him, leading the way, as Zach Irvin will pick up his third foul at the other end.
Zach Irvin potentially going out, and he stays out here on the 3 fouls, and he's now got 19 points. So it'll be between him and his buddy to see who finishes with top scoring.
And Zach Irvin shooting 70% from the field. James against Delpeche. Irvin picks up the steal. Irvin racing down the court. And a tough finish there. Zach Irvin will put Manchester up 12 points. That long reach, scoop layup, drops it in, and Zach Irvin up to 21 points personal.
And now it really looks like a good lead. 12-point deficit with 4 minutes and change remaining. Zach Irvin has his fingerprints all over this one. 21 points from the Michigan native. What a final play that was.
21 points and 5 rebounds. And that is a double-digit lead for Manchester with 4:12 to play here in the fourth quarter. And it's been a 21-12 run for Manchester these last just under 6 minutes here in the fourth, Jason.
Yeah, and they've just done it with various players. Delpeche was the man in the first half for them in terms of coming in, rebounding, dunking the basketball, just being a physical presence. If AJ has contributed more than he's contributed in previous games, and then just hand it over to Donovan Mitchell, Zach Irvin, and as always, Macias and Langford has just kept it ticking over, Kaz.
5 players for Manchester in double figures. Ashton Langford with a double-double, 12 points, 12 assists and 6 rebounds. And for Surrey, Cam Gooden, 20 points, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Mervyn James adding in 15 points. And Jalen Ray also on 15. So still time for Surrey to make a push here. But they're going to need to get some points on the board relatively quickly.
Yeah, this next 2 offenses, they have to score, stop, score, and stop. For anything good to happen here, I would say must score from here on out.
Delacune out to Gooden, and that pass is too strong. Assistant coach Juan Nardini didn't want to help out there and become part of the 89ers offense.
Have you seen those guys in the warm-up, those assistant coaches? They play defense.
They do, and it's not just a little bit of defense as well.
I mean, Ian DeBose throws them around, you know, really is too strong for those guys, but they make their money.
Ashton Langford using the clock. John driving baseline, going to take it to the basket. And Cody John just extends Manchester's lead here in the 4th. Ray looks to answer, out to James. And James draws the whistle, fouls on the floor, but that will put Manchester on 5 team fouls. That's Ashton Langford's 2nd. So that means Surrey will be at the line now, and also anytime Manchester foul for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so Cody John adds another 2, but as you say, the clock will be stopped every time Manchester foul, so that is with Surrey. Cody John finger rolling that ball over the front of the iron. Been a real spark off the bench.
He really has. He's been so effective for Manchester, and how good is it to have a player like that that could just come on in bursts as well. He really brings the energy.
Yeah, he does.
James gets the first.
When we talk about all aspects of the game, we say, okay, there's rebounding, there's passing. But at the end of the day, the game is about putting the ball through the basket. And Cody John has a knack of doing that in different ways. He's deadly from 3-point range, but he can also find seams and finish under pressure. And don't get it twisted, he's not even thinking about passing the ball, Kaz.
Irvin in the corner! A big shot for Zach Irvin. Manchester up 15, and Zach Irvin, 24 points for him. Ray, 3, doesn't drop. Del Pesh with the rebound. And that's rebound number 7 for Marcus Del Pesh. James has it. Ashton Langford steals it back. And Ashton Langford over the line. Passes the ball out to Mitchell. Mitchell's shot doesn't go, but another rebound for Marcus Del Pesh and Manchester. They can use the clock here. Time is on their side. Ashton Langford, oh, what a pass into Del Pesh. Marcus Del Pesh finishes under the basket, up to 16 points personal. He's been on a tear today and in his last 4 games, as Ray's shot is no good. Delacune tidies up and puts it in.
So I haven't been able to really get a word in. It's been that fast, but all is now is to do is to pick that MVP, but I'm really struggling. You can really go either way. You've got Irving obviously in the mix. This guy, Cody John, as he shoots the 3 ball. Del Pesh has played a great game. Ashton Langford flirting with a triple-double today. It's just who do you give it to? We'll give it another minute and then I'll let you know.
Marcus Del Pesh, 16 points, 8 rebounds and 2 assists. In his last 4 games, he's been averaging 11.5 points per game, 6.2 rebounds and 76.4% from the field. He has been shooting 88% today. He's missed 1 shot. He's 8 of 9 from the field.
Wow, what a game for Marcus Del Pesh. A personal index rating of 25.
In a game that they're up by 15, that's huge.
Massive.
A plus-minus of 22 for Del Pesh, as well as Ray tries to cut into the lead for Surrey. He gets his first free throw.
First one's good. One to come.
Ray, second to come. And 2 of 2. Ashton Langford for Manchester. Runs into Gooden, and travel called. Gooden forcing the turnover, getting his hand on the ball. Will get the 89ers the ball back as a timeout is called. Sorry, no timeout, substitution we'll have. So Josh Steele in for the 89ers. Delacune will head to the bench. And Ray, around 90 seconds for the 89ers to go into this. Ray shot short, Mitchell with the rebound. Mitchell across half court. Out to Ashton Langford, a long three off the rim, but Delpeche fighting for the board, gets it out to Irvin, will just go out of bounds, but Marcus Delpeche has been relentless on the boards today.
16 points. He's just done it all, Kaz. Make that 9 rebounds.
He's been throwing dunks down, he's been showing out his highlight plays, getting the fans on their feet as Gooden stops, spins, fires, no good. Approaching the final minute, Ashton Langford to Irvin, Delpeche back to Irvin, oh, behind the head, out to Mitchell, it's too strong. But that would have erupted the crowd if that had gone down as Mitchell swats it away. And DJ Mitchell racing back on defense. Doesn't get the shot to go at one end, but gets down the court with a big block for Manchester. And a timeout called. Manchester up 13-99 to 86. They look set to snap their 2-game losing streak, get back to winning ways, as we see Mitchell's big block there. He's fired up after that one.
Well, Herman Mandole really before the game played down that importance of 4th position. He said it doesn't matter, 4th, 5th, 6th. It really doesn't matter as long as you're in the playoff. But to go from really 8th and 9th in this league and potentially finishing close to the bottom, they've finished 4th in this competition. It's been such a surge from when he arrived, and really hats off to this basketball team for the effort and how they've bought into his system.
A Manchester win today will mean 10 wins and 4 losses in the Herman Mandole era. And they'll be going again on Saturday against Surrey. Travelling down to Surrey. Surrey with a back-to-back this weekend. After that Manchester game Saturday, they'll be playing the Bristol Flyers on Sunday. But still, 48.3 seconds out here today. And Jason, it's been it's a tough pick there for MVP. Who's just edging it for you?
So there's so many you can go with. Zach Irvin, obviously, with the 24 points personal. You know, he has an index rating of 26, but you have to look at the plus minus. And Marcus Delpeche, he's had his fingerprints all over this one. 16 points, 1 rebound off a double-double. He's got a plus minus of 20 points. Can he get this elusive rebound right here if it comes off? And he does make that a double-double for Marcus Delpeche. What a ball game.
Mitchell over to John. John lobs it up for Mitchell. Gets it to go. And Manchester hit the century mark, 101 to 86. Delpeche with another rebound. Takes him up to 11. Mitchell out to the corner. John, he's got time and space. He's going to make it rain. Cody John racking up the points for Manchester. And as time winds down, this is going to be a big win for Manchester as we head towards the last game of the season for them. The foul call will send Surrey to the line. That's the 4th on Delpeche. Mervyn James at the line for 2. But how big a bounce back is this for Manchester after that loss to that loss to Bristol on Sunday by just 5 points and a loss to Newcastle at the end of last week?
It's huge, and it's huge because they have to go to Surrey knowing they don't need to win. So yes, they can play loose. Coach Mandole can get some other guys involved, possibly off the bench. He can rest certain players like Delpeche, who's come out and really played a good ball game. Maybe Zach Irving, maybe DJ Mitchell. They can rotate a little bit more. Ashton Langford, for once, has the luxury to kind of ease off. Not that he's going to when he's playing, but...
2 of 2 from the line for James, up to 19. Guy Ashton Langford will he dribble it out? He gets it to John. Delpeche will just hold it. And Manchester come away with a big win against the 89ers, 104-88. Leading the way was Zach Irvin, 24 points for Manchester, 6 rebounds and a steal. Marcus Delpeche off the bench, 16 points, 11 rebounds, shooting 88%, 5 offensive rebounds. DJ Mitchell adding in 18, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. And Mackay Ashton Langford, a huge 15 assist game along with 12 points. And for the 89ers, Cam Gooden, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Mervyn James adding in 19 points, 3 rebounds, an assist and a steal. And we can see there, Manchester 52% from the field, 46% for the 89ers. That just dropped off after half-time. Manchester, 12 threes, 35% to Surrey's 7. And a massive 45 rebounds for Manchester to 35 for Surrey. That battle on the boards really edged it for Manchester. 9 second chance points off 13 offensive rebounds for Manchester. Manchester able to dominate inside, 56 points in the paint to 46 to the 89ers.
24 points.
And a really big boost for Manchester, as Jason said, heading towards the playoffs. Their last home game of the regular season, coming out on top, 104-88 against the 89ers. But these teams will go again on Saturday. Surrey looking to try and close that gap in the standings against Cheshire, who are just 1 spot ahead of them. So we're going to go courtside with Jason, who has assistant coach Juan Nardini, and he'll be speaking to MVP Marcus Delpeche. Over to you, Jason.
I'm with Coach Pitkin here in Manchester, and what a game. A bounce-back victory after 2 defeats. You must be really happy with how your team played today, Coach.
Yeah, the priority for us was just to come out and to feel good, you know, with the way that we've been, the way that we're playing. You know, the focus was to be much more complete defensively and just to be cohesive on both ends of the floor.
And you had a lot of balanced scoring. We're going to bring in the MVP today, Marcus Delpeche. Marcus, you had your fingerprints all over this one, but we're going to quiz you a little bit first. We had Mitchell on 18 points, Zach Irving on 24, Ashton Langford have 12 points and 15 assists. Guess how many rebounds he was off a triple-double?
I'm going to say 2 off.
He was 4 off. He had 6 rebounds, so he was close. But over to you, Marcus. You had 16 points and 10 rebounds. You were dunking the ball. You were blocking shots. Must have felt good out there today.
No, absolutely. Obviously, coming off the past 2 games, we definitely could have done a bit better. So this was a wake-up call. We listened to our coach, and we got the job done. Like, really proud of our guys, and obviously it's good to build momentum going into the playoffs.
And Marcus, you're always a gentleman. You always speak to us a lot, but I'm amazed at how you've evolved the three-point game in the last month. You made a 3 about 3 games ago, and I think you're Manchester's top percentage shooter. What do you think?
Listen, ask anyone in the team about how practice goes in our shooting competitions. I'm like that. But all jokes aside, like, the coaches are giving me confidence and my teammates are giving me the confidence. So when I saw the opportunity, I took it, and then it's just been building that confidence from there. So, like, I'm really grateful to be part of this organization.
Well, thanks, guys, for spending time. Go and enjoy yourselves. It's another great win, and there's your 4th place. Enjoy it, fellas.
The man of the moment there for Manchester, Marcus Delpeche. A huge game for him, 16 points off the bench, and an incredible rebounding game, 11 rebounds. We saw him throwing it down, we saw him shooting, getting to the basket, scoring every which way he wanted to. He's been huge for this Manchester team throughout the course of the season, and a very well-deserved MVP for him. Manchester with 5 players out there in double figures. And for Surrey, Cam Gooden, 20 points personal. Surrey will go again on Saturday against Manchester. Manchester making the trip over to Surrey, and then Surrey with that back-to-back against the Bristol Flyers on Sunday. So the game in London has finished with the Lions with a big win over the Riders, 93-76. And then Friday night, we'll see teams... Oh, we're not finished. We're still in the fourth quarter, just a couple of minutes to go. But looking like London will take that one, and that's a big boost in that title race for the Lions. So Friday's games, 1 game on Saturday, just Surrey and Manchester. And then on Sunday, final game of the regular season will be the Cheshire Phoenix and the Newcastle Eagles. Sheffield and London just before that one, but you can catch all of the action, all the rest of the season long on DAZN. It's been an incredible season so far, still a lot more basketball to come, playoffs round the corner. So the final score from here in Manchester, Manchester basketball 104, the Surrey 89ers 88. From myself, Caroline Bullock, and from Jason Swain, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball. A new dawn is here.